Hello and welcome back to In the Clear, the only show still being transcribed into hieroglyphics. I'm your host, Tom Stark, and we hope you all had a great holiday season. My co-producer and I are happy to bring you another season with some of our favorite recurring segments, along with some new ones we thought of during the haircuts. Haircuts? Hiatus. That word is hiatus. However, today we'll be showing off an interview with Aaron Lindsay that I had the pleasure of taking, and then wrapping up with my personal favorite, social standards, because therapy is expensive and my tolerance of you all is wearing very thin. Finally, we'll be finishing up with two types of people, so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. That was Aaron Lindsay, known on TikTok as Trumpets Rock 202. He's a very talented musician, bringing us some brass instead of the usual instruments that we're used to. I recently sat down with Mr. Lindsay to talk to him about his music and career. Okay, everybody, I'm here with Aaron Lindsay. Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm hanging in there.
Yep. I'm a huge fan of your content. I've become well aware that it hasn't been spread around enough. Can you give us a little gist of what you do?
Well, honestly, I try to do a little bit of everything. There's a lot of video and audio work that I do just here in my home studio. It ranges from jazz, classical, Latin, all types of different styles of music that I just love to throw out there, and maybe a little bit of humor from time to time.
Do you have a favorite style you aim for? That was some.
That's there. So my natural love is classical and Renaissance. I actually just did a Renaissance Deck the Halls because it's almost Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So classical is generally the side that I go.
I have noticed that. I've been a huge fan of it. The first video I ever saw of yours, you were playing the trumpet and you had this bullet on the end of it. I don't know what it's actually called, but it really gave this super unique sound for the classical piece, and I was like, that's what really wrapped me in at the first place. And I was like, wow, I understand where the following's coming from. Like, what is that?
Right. So oh man, where did I put it? It should be nearby. Yep. Are you referring to this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what it's a cup mute. And this is a particular one. It actually adjusts into what's known as a straight mute. And I really prefer like the cup mute sound because it can kind of bring it back to a 40s style.
Yeah.
Sound, if you will. And there's many pieces and just different types of tunes that call for it. A lot of big band, if you're familiar with that, like the jazz era.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, it's one of my favorite tools, to be honest with you. So,
super unique sound out of that.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sure anybody who sees this is going to ask otherwise. We have the Fort Lee Army Band banner behind you. That's where you're current band?
That's where I was my last duty station.
Duty station, all right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. There was actually because I'm a huge fan of brass quintet, and that's just a 5-member brass ensemble. You have 2 trumpets, a French horn, trombone, and a tuba. And one of the best quintets I've ever been in was at that duty station. I spent almost 3 years there. I believe I arrived in 2017, and then I've been here in the 101st Airborne Division Band in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, since last year.
All right.
2020.
It's been treating everybody so well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I will add to that statement as far as 2020 and with the pandemic and everything. It pushed me to learn how to do video and audio like a little bit faster, if you will, because it started out as a hobby. I've been doing this for a few years now, but I've improved equipment over the years as far as the cameras. I have two different types of mics, a mixer, all kinds of stuff. And then it's just up to me, like, to come up with a random ideas, you know? I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw it. I did a montage to The Office.
I
The
did.
show.
I very well did.
So,
One of my favorite
yeah.
shows in general. It was a very nice, it really worked well.
I had a lot of fun dressing up as, or at least attempting to dress up as different characters. So, yeah, man,
It did its job.
I'm glad to hear. Anything to put a smile on someone's face, you know?
I understand
Especially,
entirely.
yeah.
And you have agreed to play something for us? Do you have anything in mind?
Well, I could do the show you with the without the mute, and then with the mute if you'd like.
That would be
And
really cool, so you can actually see the difference. Everybody understands.
exactly. And I've picked the cornet to play today. It has a little bit conical sound, if you will. And let's see if you can notice a difference.
And now with the mute.
Well, you'll have to forgive me a little bit because other than a few notes, I actually had it easy today. Other than a couple notes, like I've tried to play for you before the interview, I really haven't warmed up much. I haven't played, so I apologize for the mistake there.
It still sounds great. I don't think music's one of those things that somebody who doesn't know the piece very well, if they hear it, they just went, "Wow, that was perfect." And you being the performer just go, "Oh no, I messed up. I hope nobody notices." Like,
You would understand
yes.
as you let me know, a fellow musician. So, actually, I had a discussion today on I can get a little too critical and become kind of the perfectionist, as I'm sure a lot of people have their niche that they can really just like beat themselves up like
Hmm.
crazy. And so if you do make that one mistake or and whatnot, yeah, I've actually had a tendency in my past. I'll overplay. Like I will overdo it with the practicing or overdo it with all because I missed one note in a
Hmm.
performance. Well, I just missed a note in there, so I'm probably going to spend the next 6 hours, playing the same thing over and over again until I'm not making the mistake anymore. But I just say that to say that my friend actually had some really good advice about that. Is one, what does it matter 6 months, from now?
Hmm.
If you and then as a musician, just knowing, like, just like you said, it's the audience member. Most people, they're going to enjoy it.
Yes.
They're not going to be the critical trumpet player on the other end. You do get a few of those, but that's not every audience member. So trying to keep that in mind moving forward.
Yeah. So long as most people enjoy it, you've done a good job.
That's the goal. Yes,
And I
sir.
did want to ask, it seems I have time for one more ish question. Um, so you said you've been playing for 20 years, at least you told me.
So you started when you were how old?
Yeah, so I started when I was 9 years old. I'm currently 31. I was very fortunate in the area that I grew up in that by the time I was 15, I had started playing professionally in Atlanta, Georgia. So, like, I had the Fox Theater there. The Latin world was huge, so there was a lot of salsa music. There was a few big bands, and I actually played in quite a few orchestras as well, and musicals. And so from there, I attempted to audition for the position at Curtis Conservatory of Music.
Hmm.
I think we discussed earlier that that didn't go very well. It was a
Yeah.
very, as you put, it was a very competitive school to audition for, and all my eggs were in that basket, like financially, and just I was being a dumb 18-year-old, thinking that oh, I got this.
Yeah.
So coming in second to the audition, which is not winning it. I was kind of forced to the idea because I'd also grown up with a lot of military musicians in that area of Georgia, and so I decided to join the Marine Corps band, and I spent 5 years total in the Marine Corps. No, excuse me, 6 years total. The first four was in the Marine Corps band in Quantico, and then I was shied out because I got scared with the closure of two Marine bands out of the
Yeah.
13 that we had. Got a little scared, and so I just stopped at the first enlistment. Joined a completely different job in the Marine Corps for 2 years. It was mortuary affairs, and
Very different.
that was completely opposite. And music was not the forefront in my life, and that was like destroying me. I had like two mental things that were just
Hmm.
caving in, and that's why I'll say it again. I joined the dark side, the good old army band, which Semper Fi. It's but once Marine, always Marine. But I've really enjoyed my time in the army bands. The caliber of musicianship, the way that they take care of you as an individual, uh, it's fantastic. I've really enjoyed my time in the army. So yeah,
Glad to hear
three
that.
three three bands later, still going.
Yep. Still have a smile on your face. That's what
Yeah,
matters.
it's fake. What do they say? Fake it till till
Fake
it's
it till
real.
you make it.
No, no, I really do enjoy the colleagues, the professionalism. There's a trumpet player I'm with now that he's just a monster with his range and jazz skill, and yeah, it's you get great caliber musicians. So yeah,
And that is all the time I have for the interview. Aaron, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, interview with us, play us a little bit. That was awesome. That's something new on the show.
man. Thank you, thank you. Once again, I apologize for the mistake. 6 hours from now, I'll clean that one up. But
We'll
no,
see who the
thank you so
first
much.
person is to find it, like when they actually go through and nitpick it, the timestamp.
I'll look in the comments.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you again.
You too. Thank you.
So he was great. Honestly, we had a lot of fun chatting on and off the recording. Please head over to his TikTok and follow him. He puts out awesome collaboration videos and a ton of covers on there that sound fantastic. He even puts out the occasional skit video. And he's just a super nice guy. And now that the positivity has been put in the air, I'm here to bring the negativity back. This week's Social Standards is brought to you by your parents. We thought after the holidays and the family time that you weren't supposed to be having, that this would be greatly appreciated. Don't you hate it when you get a call from your parents screaming about something very simple? Of course you do. That's the whole point of the infomercial style approach I had to this week's complaint. Let's start here. I know old dogs can still learn new tricks. Don't complain they can't if you've seen more than one Air Bud movie. So how come I can't get a simple text to ask an easy question? Rather, my mom would call screaming at me to ask things like, have you taken the trash out yet? Why is the Wi-Fi off? Why is there a wild raccoon sleeping on the couch in a knit sweater? Again, all simple answers. Yes, the trash is out. Calm down about the Wi-Fi. I don't have internet either. And it's crochet, not knit, thank you very much. I had to figure something out to do it during quarantine, and little Jimmy would look absolutely ridiculous in a crocheted hula skirt, Mom. And then, on the other end of things, I find it equally infuriating that I get a text for the exact opposite things that I should be getting phone calls for. Emotionless robot parent texts me, little Jimmy ran away and was hit by a Prius. Do you know how upsetting that is for me? How long it took me to train a raccoon? How foolproof that cage was? And that implies somebody let him out in the first place? How demeaning that a Prius of all vehicles is the reason my little man met his maker? Rest in peace, Jimmy. Enjoy the big trash can in the sky. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, that should have been a phone call. Sorry for the loss of composure. Grief is a process. Anyway, something like that deserves a call, or at least the decency of letting me get home to tell me in person. Also, to be fair, I don't live at home anymore, so this is me just going off memory, and I'm still upset about the raccoon, Mom. So, call me if the world is ending, someone is dying, or if you really don't want to ruin my Chinese order again. Text me for a yes or no question, a simple ask, or to send me a cute animal pic and fill the void. It's that simple. I can't believe I have to explain something like this, but trust me, your kids will thank you, and they'll think twice about throwing you in a retirement home when they have a perfectly good extra bedroom down the line. Really, invest in your own future. Now, to wrap up our first episode of Season 2, we have our poll for two types of people. This week's debate is whether you prefer the edge of the pan of brownies with the brownie crust, or the brownie in the middle with no crust. I will let you know that in coming up with this poll, my co-producer and I had a fairly heated exchange, and knowing him, he's probably editing some harsh words on his wrong opinion on the screen right now. Me, being the calmer of the two, will leave this up to debate as we will not sway opinions on this show. And that's all the time we had for this week. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on our social media, links in the description below. And if there's anyone you would like to see interviewed, comment on this video. We're always looking for new content to explore. Until next time, my name is Tom Stark, this has been In the Clear, and all y'all have a great night.